It's impossible for you to for a violation to go undetected.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 scandals where the main drama was caused by someone deliberately lying or faking something important to mislead others.
Enron is likely one of the largest corporate scandals in the U.S. history.
Number 10, the explosive Richard Jewell Olympics accusation. In 1996, during the Atlanta Summer Olympics, security guard Richard Jewell spotted a strange bag containing pipe bombs.
Before the bomb went off, Jewell was working as a security guard in Centennial Park, guarding the AT&T tower there, when he says that he noticed an olive green backpack under a bench.
About this size?
No, sir. Probably
bigger.
Yes, sir. 2 foot by 3 foot, probably.
He quickly alerted the police and helped to evacuate people before the bomb exploded, saving many lives. Soon after, Jewell went from hero to prime suspect, thanks to a tip from his former boss.
On Wednesday, dozens of FBI and ATF agents were in Jewell's residence and carried off box after box of materials, apparently searching for that key piece of evidence.
The FBI named him a suspect, and the media wasted no time in portraying him as a would-be terrorist. For 88 days, Jewell lived under heavy public scrutiny, hounded by the FBI and treated as guilty without trial. Though eventually cleared of any suspicion, the damage done was heavy.
For the past 5 years, Richard Jewell has been trying to put his life back together.
Years later, in 2003, Eric Rudolph, the real bomber, was caught. It's a typical case of how fake narratives can destroy a life.
Most people say you're the ex-suspect.
Still?
Yes, sir. Still.
Number 9, Tiger Woods' infidelity denials. Before 2009, Tiger Woods was golf's golden boy, a record-breaking champion with an enviously spotless public image.
Did you ever think that to be a good golfer meant that you would be the most famous sportsman on the planet?
That's never my intent. I could give. I really didn't care about being famous.
But late November that year changed everything. A mysterious crash outside his home sparked whispers about his private life, and soon it was revealed he'd been living a double life.
It was Tiger Woods' life that appeared to be in jeopardy. No one knew it was merely his reputation that was in danger.
However, when rumors of his affairs initially began, Woods tried to dismiss or downplay them as private matters. But that crash unraveled it all.
He will figure out how to accept the responsibility of his private life as well as his public life.
As the media dug deeper into it, nightclub owner Rachel Yucatel and Jamie Grubbs, his mistresses, were exposed to the press. Soon the messages Grubbs and Woods allegedly exchanged were leaked, and more women came forward with claims of affairs. Woods' reputation took a massive hit, and he eventually confessed to cheating.
I recognize I have brought this on myself. And I know, above all, I am the one who needs to change.
Number 8, Ryan Lochte Rio Olympics robbery lie. How far would you go to cover up your bad behavior? For Ryan Lochte, the answer was flipping the tail and making yourself a victim.
I was with a couple swimmers. We were coming back from the friend's house, and we got pulled over in our taxi.
During the 2016 Summer Olympics in Brazil, Lochte and 3 fellow U.S. swimmers claimed they'd been robbed at gunpoint by men with police badges. The story gained massive attention, raising concerns about safety in Brazil until investigations revealed an entirely different story.
Okay, there was no robbery, there was no pullover, there was nothing.
Drunk, the swimmers had vandalized a gas station and were confronted by security guards. In the aftermath, Lochte's lie backfired spectacularly, costing him sponsorships and damaging his reputation.
They care a lot about their brands. They're not going to tarnish their brands and allow an individual to do that. The story is just not a good story.
It's a stunt just as twisted as Jussie Smollett's infamous hoax. Makes you wonder what goes through someone's mind when crafting such elaborate, self-destructive lies.
Everyone there, they put on a great games, and my immature, intoxicated behavior tarnished that a little.
Number 7, the Milli Vanilli lip-syncing scandal. In the late 80s and early 90s, Milli Vanilli topped charts with their catchy songs, even snagging a 1990 Grammy for Best New Artist. I'm in love with you, girl, 'cause you're on my mind. You're the one I think about most every time. Shockingly, the duo Fab Morvan and Rob Pilatus didn't sing a note on their Smash album. They were just the faces lip-syncing songs recorded by other vocalists.
Girl, you know it's true.
For a while, the truth remained hidden, but during a live performance, their backing track famously skipped, marking the beginning of the discovery.
Girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's.
While the crowd didn't pay much attention to it then, the truth came to light when their manager, Frank Farian, exposed the deception. Their Grammy was revoked, and Milli Vanilli quickly became a cautionary tale about how even the biggest hits can be built on a lie.
You have to lip sync in front of 500 million people.
Number 6, the Elizabeth Holmes Theranos case. Elizabeth Holmes went from a self-made billionaire to one of the most disappointing leaders in business, all because of a lie.
Every time you create something new, there should be questions.
To sell an illusion, Holmes claimed that her blood testing startup could get accurate results with just a few drops of blood. Experts doubted it, but instead of admitting flaws, Holmes and team faked results, altered demos, and misled investors and patients.
When I was there, we could not complete any test accurately on the devices that we were manufacturing.
For years, Holmes convinced the media, investors, and high-end backers that her technology worked, keeping the money pouring in. At its peak, Theranos was valued at $9 billion.
You're also lying to the public, you're lying to patients, you're lying to doctors, you're lying to regulators. Most people would call that fraud as well.
All that came crashing down when the truth was exposed, proving that a lie can only take you so far. Holmes was later arrested and convicted for her fraudulent actions.
She thought that she couldn't be held accountable, that she thought that she could tell investors anything, that she could tell institutions and financial agencies whatever she wanted to and not be held accountable, and that's just false.
Number 5, the Lance Armstrong doping scandal. For most of his cycling years, Lance Armstrong built his success on a lie.
Has Lance Armstrong ever tested positive? No. Has Lance Armstrong been tested? A lot.
The celebrated cancer survivor swore he never used performance-enhancing drugs, but behind the scenes, he was in fact doping. For over a decade, Armstrong kept up with this lie, and anyone who spoke up, journalists, teammates, was attacked, sued, and discredited.
People have to realize that the truth in all this is hard. Such a huge number of people wanted to believe so bad that they hated anyone who didn't believe and hated anyone who questioned it.
Then in 2012, U.S. anti-doping gathered damning evidence from former teammates, which was the beginning of Armstrong's downfall. The proof was so overwhelming, in 2013, Armstrong finally admitted to cheating in an interview with Oprah Winfrey.
That is the biggest challenge the rest of my life, is to not slip up again.
Stripped of his titles and banned for life, he instantly went from hero to fraud. There you have it, another so-called legend who had us all cheering for a carefully crafted illusion.
People will forgive and forget and move on, or they won't. And there'll be plenty of the latter.
Number 4, the Enron accounting fraud. Founded in 1985, Enron went from a regular natural pipeline gas company to a corporate giant by the 1990s.
Ken Lay started Enron in 1985 as a regional pipeline operation. He turned it into a trading energy company, buying and selling electricity and natural gas.
On paper, they were a huge Houston energy giant, making billions and dazzling Wall Street. In reality, they were drowning in debt with unprofitable projects dragging it down. Instead of coming clean, they cooked up clever accounting tricks. Using special purpose entities, they hid their debts and kept financial statements looking fantastic.
Traders soon discovered that by shutting down power plants, they could create artificial shortages that would push prices even higher.
In 2001, when scrutiny from analysts and whistleblowers exposed their deception, it all came crashing down.
Enron stock today plummeted, dropping 85% after its last hope, its credit rating, was cut.
When the truth came out, stocks collapsed, investors lost huge amounts of money, and employees lost their jobs. The scandal didn't spare those at the top either. Key executives were disgraced, tried, and sent to prison.
It started with a lot of people who thought they were changing the world, and over time they became victims of their own hubris, victims of their own greed, and so it's like taking so much promise and possibility and looking at it in a mirror and seeing the flip side reflected back at you.
Number 3, the Bill Clinton-Monica Lewinsky affair. In 1998, the White House was rocked by a scandal straight out of a political soap opera.
In Washington this evening, supporters of the president are reeling, and his enemies are readying to pounce.
The then president of the United States was accused of having an affair with intern Monica Lewinsky. As the rumors caught fire, Bill Clinton didn't just deny them. He looked straight into the camera and said he never had any sexual relations with Lewinsky.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
It might have ended there had investigators not gotten hold of Lewinsky's dress stained and containing traces of Clinton's DNA. At this point, the truth was undeniable. Clinton later admitted to the affair he'd so vehemently denied.
Indeed, I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong.
Congress moved to impeach him for perjury and obstruction of justice. Though he wasn't removed from office, the scandal left a lasting dent on his public image.
I want the American people to know today that I am still committed to working with people of good faith and goodwill of both parties to do what's best for our country.
Number 2, the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme. Bernie Madoff's name is forever linked to one of the largest Ponzi schemes.
As we know, that markets go up and down, and his only went up. He had very few down months. Only 4% of the months were down months. And that would be equivalent to a baseball player in the major leagues batting .960 for a year. Clearly impossible. You would suspect cheating immediately.
Maybe he was just good.
No one's that good.
Before the scandal, Madoff was a respected stockbroker and even chaired NASDAQ in the 1990s. He attracted wealthy clients, big institutions, and charities with the promise of high returns, even during market downturns. It seemed too good to be true, yet people trusted him.
And I think probably the thing that tears me up more than anything is the fact that I recommended Madoff to a number of people.
In reality, Madoff wasn't investing a dime. Rather, he was paying earlier investors with new investors' funds, creating an illusion of success. When the 2008 financial crisis triggered massive withdrawals, he couldn't keep up, exposing the fraud.
You know, I knew absolutely nothing about this before my father shared the information with me, and it was the most shocking and terrible moment of my life.
Madoff eventually confessed to his sons, who turned him in. In 2009, he was sentenced to 150 years in prison, a lasting symbol of greed, deception, and shattered trust.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, the Watergate scandal. Back in 1972, when President Richard Nixon was running for re-election, 5 men were caught breaking into the Democratic Party's headquarters at Washington.
You found the door taped once and you took the tape off. And then you found it taped the second time.
It was something that told me that you should not only check the door, but that you call the police.
At first, it looked like a small-time robbery, but these guys were no ordinary burglars. They were there to install listening devices. Then reporters uncovered a shocking link. They were tied to Nixon's re-election committee.
The $25,000 check linked contributions to President Nixon's re-election campaign to the slush fund used to pay the burglars who broke into the Watergate office complex.
Nixon denied any Oval Office involvement, yet behind the scenes, he pressured the FBI to back off the case. The cover-up unraveled when it was revealed that he'd recorded his own conversation in the Oval Office.
But it seems clear already that President Nixon's fight to avoid impeachment in the House is dead, and his chances to survive a Senate trial are increasingly uncertain.
Caught red-handed, Nixon resigned before he could be impeached, becoming the first U.S. president to do so. Talk about a true political thriller.
Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
Who's the biggest liar of them all? Let us know in the comments section.
May God's grace be with you in all the days ahead.